Hey, it's Doug Coy for SoWhatDoYouThink.com. Well, I don't want to be morbid, but I've been thinking a lot about the afterlife, like what happens when you die. You ever think about that much? Maybe it's my age, but I've also thought about, like those people that were flying in the airplane that day that, in Manhattan. What were they thinking about when the pilot came on and said, brace yourself, and they suddenly realized they're going down. They heard the engine, it went off, it blew up actually, and I wonder what went through their minds. What would go through your mind? I've had a couple near-death type of things that could have been tragic. One was I was coming back from Los Angeles, coming into Palm Springs, raining like crazy. Had this pastor in the car with me. Very, very good thing. If you're going to have an accident, have a pastor in the car with you. And we're coming down this roadway, and I said, I'm going to just switch lanes. It's like 4-lane highway coming out of LA into Palm Springs. And all of a sudden, I hit this water, this gush of water that had come across the road, and I spun out. And I spun out 3 to 4 times in drive time traffic. And it's like slow motion. You're seeing the cars go by, whizzing by, whizzing by. We didn't hit a car. It could have been a multi-car accident. We could have flipped the car, all kinds of things. I was going like 60 miles an hour, can you imagine? Ended up in the side of the road. I hit the railing, a little bit of a dent. Both of us were fine. And I just sat there and I looked over at the pastor and I said, were you praying? He said, yeah, I had a one-word prayer. Help! And sometimes I got to tell you, that's one of the best prayers you can ever have. But what do you think happens when we die? What do you think? Is there an afterlife? Really, seriously. I mean, we got 2 things we're certain of: taxes and death, right? And you can avoid taxes. You might get caught, might spend time, but you can't avoid death. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to every one of us. So the question I have you ever had a near-death experience, and how did it change you? And what about the afterlife? Do you think there is one or not? So what do you think? Love to hear your comments, and I'd like to comment back to you. Let's get some dialogue happening. So what do you think? .com.